Fight for me.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into the first episode of Untitled Interviews. I'm your host, Jajuan. Today we have a very special guest, our first guest. She's turning up the scenes in terms of photography, the artistic and creative Dymond Jewell.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Before we get into everything, just in case anybody's unfamiliar with you, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, of course. My name is Dymond Jewell. I am a photographer from Pittsburgh, PA. I am 22. I'll be 23 in a week and a half.
So I'm aware that you have various artistic abilities and interests. Mm-hmm. What was it about photography that made you want to fully commit to it?
Just the creative aspect of it, being able to please my clients with my work. Mm-hmm. Also, them letting me get the creative freedom that they give me. Right. Also, with the models, being able to create something that explains who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So was this something that started early on in your childhood, like you were 5 years old and you couldn't put a camera down, or was it your 16th birthday and you decided to ask for a camera as a gift? Like, when did this start for you?
Well, I've always been into the arts, so I would say about around 17 or 16, one of those. I asked Mom for a camera, mm-hmm. and I didn't when she got it for me, I didn't use it until maybe 3 years after that. And then when I started to use it, I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then I got into the film photography, and then I put the digital camera down, and the film photography was it gave me a different feel. Mm-hmm. And then I had a really bad experience with my film. So I was like, okay, let me go back to the digital, see what this is hitting for. Okay. And then, yeah.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about what got you here, having me ask you questions about your journey. I feel that every artist has their early on career defining moment where something happens that instills belief or pushes them to go after what they want. So do you feel you had that moment in photography that lets you know this is meant for me?
Okay, so a year ago, actually, yeah, definitely a year ago, I had a shoot with a model. Her name is Gabby. And I don't know, we were just creating, and she had these Steve Madden boots on. Mm-hmm. And she tagged Steve Madden in the photo. And they commented, can we use this for, I guess, a promo photo?
Right.
They didn't use it, but it was the recognition.
The fact that they
yeah. So that made me feel good. And I was like, okay, I'm all right at this.
So in separate conversation, we discussed you deciding to drop out of college to become a full-time photographer. Mm-hmm. How has that, which I'm sure was a complete life shock, how's that changed your life on a day-to-day basis?
How's that changed my life?
Without the school structure, just pretty much having to formulate your days yourself.
I love it, to be honest with you. Well, school was I thought that's what I wanted to do, but I really wasn't happy there, college-wise. I wasn't happy. And me being able to do what I love 24/7, I don't know, it just makes me happy. So mm-hmm. Happiness is a very big thing for me. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but in your style and your aura, I sense a deep root and connection to the 90s. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that something that you try to depict and portray in your photography?
Yes. I love the vintage editorial look. So I try to mimic it in my photos. It just, like I said, it's just really all about the feel, to be honest with you. The vintage editorial photos, they just give me this raw, real feel. Not too much Photoshop, and just, the real deal.
Okay. All right. To be inspired.
Yes.
Your first art exhibit.
Yes,
break down for me the concept and idea behind it.
Well, to be inspired, the name actually, it was first just inspire. And then I was thinking about it, I'm like, that doesn't really like sound too like titly. So I changed it to be, to be inspired. And the idea came from, honestly, one of my biggest goals in life is to inspire someone, whether that's just one person or a room full of people. I just want to be like, I just want people to remember my name. So that, I feel like that was just a natural thing for me, for it to be titled To Be Inspired. Okay. The concept, once again, the 90s, 70s, 80s, they just really play a big part in my life, from the way I dress, from the music I listen to, morals, all that. So, yeah.
Okay. So clearly you have a deep inspiration and connection to the past. Is there anything, present day or anybody present day that inspires you to want to create?
Okay, Instagram or like social media, it can be a good and a bad thing. But I really get a lot of my inspiration from social media. Like certain people that you follow, it's very important to follow people that are like in your same field, basically, or just people that have the same
mindset.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And yeah, so I get my inspiration basically from my timeline, seeing other people create and all that.
Okay, so as a photographer, most of your clients book you and have an idea for what they want you to do, and you're able to add your creativity to that. But for this, you had full, complete creative control. You were in charge of the shoots, the locations, the models, the styling. How was this a different feel for you?
How is it a different feel? Honestly, I do creative shoots where I choose the models, the location, and all that. So it's not really like a huge difference, but being able to put together a showcase that represents me and I can share with the world, that it just makes me feel good and makes me feel like, okay, so I did this, now I gotta do something bigger next time.
Okay. So you're 22, correct?
Yes.
With you being 22 and you're finding inspiration in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and you decided to reintroduce that through your work to people our age, what is the impact? What is the experience you want the viewers to have of your art when it comes to this showcase?
I want them to be inspired. That's what I want them to do. I want them to know that you can do whatever you want. You can follow your dreams. That's number one. Always follow your dreams. But I want them to know that even if there are negative people or like downers or whatever in your life, or just the people around you, like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can definitely do it. I promise, you can definitely do it. I've had someone tell me that I couldn't, and I did it. Now I'm here having my first solo exhibition. So, yeah, I want them to be inspired.
Okay.
No pun intended.
I was about to say. So, the show is February 4th, correct?
Yes, it is.
Which is also your 23rd birthday.
Jordan year.
So you are having a showcase on your birthday. Most people our age in their 20s are planning birthday outings or, planning to go to the club or dinners or whatever. And you are having your first show. And what I want to ask you is, how do you create a balance between, your work life and your regular life being so young, where it's like, I can still enjoy my 20s while also feeding my passion? Like, is that something you're still working on, or have you found a way to balance it out?
Definitely still working on it. But I'm really a homebody, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really am a homebody. So balancing it isn't really that hard for me, because if I'm not taking photos, I'm in the house. So it's not really that hard.
Okay. How was it completely planning something out? Like, was it difficult? I know you did about 1 to 5 shoots. There was a lot of different stuff that has to go into it. Were you pretty much by yourself in terms of the planning?
Yeah, I was. I do a lot of things by myself. Most of my shoots are by myself. The camera, the setting up, all that. Yeah, but I did have a videographer there to record like the behind the scenes. And I had a stylist for like 2 shoots. And my niece was there to help me for some. So.
Okay. So outside of just photography, what can you see yourself doing in the next 5 years, or are you singularly focused on photography?
The next 5 years.
Or even what would you like to be doing?
Shooting for magazines. Next 5 years, I am going to be shooting for magazines. Mark my word.
Okay, so you mentioned social media earlier, and you know everybody's on there, even the people that are watching us, you and me, and we all deal with the pressure of trying to hurry up and become successful when we see our peers, you know, buying nice cars, moving into homes, you know, finding love. Mm-hmm. Do you feel any pressure in terms of your career to, you know, hurry up and become successful, or are you pretty much, you know, flowing?
No pressure. Definitely going with the flow. I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to force anything. I just want to let everything happen naturally. And if it happens, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, don't. So.
All right. Well, before we close out, I just have one final question for you. When somebody comes across this interview, mm-hmm. When somebody comes across your work, when someone becomes familiar with your journey, what do you hope to do for them?
I hope that they see this, and if they are doing something that they don't like, or that they're not truly happy with, and they know what they want to do, but they're afraid to take that leap or take that step, I want them to know that it's okay to be confused. It's okay to not be sure. It's okay to question yourself, but if you take that leap, you'll never know. You know, don't be afraid to fly. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Dymond_J, DYMOND. My show, or my first solo exhibition, is February 4th, 2022, at Freshman Vintage in Homestead, and it starts at 6 p.m., ends at 10. Be there or be square. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to personally tell you congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm thankful for what you're doing as a creative. You know, choosing your own route in a world where pretty much everything is predetermined for us. So, congratulations on all your current success and your future success.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Well, thank you everybody for tuning into the first episode of Untitled Interviews featuring Dymond Jewell. We will be back soon with more content. It's a wrap. Fight for me.